Hey, what's up, Reefers? This is Reefer Matt. This is the July update. This is a 75-gallon SBS tank. Things are going pretty good in here. As you can see, I got rid of the sand. Finally, after about 8 months, all the sand is gone. The reason why I took the sand out is because it was black sand and I didn't know it was magnetic. And I couldn't use a magnetic glass cleaner in here because it would take some of that pieces of iron and it would scratch my glass. So I got rid of that sand, and I don't think I'm going to put any in here. I like it with no sand. It's just easier for the maintenance, and the tank didn't miss a bead either, so I'm not going to worry about putting more sand in there. The coral are doing pretty good. There's the Walt Disney colony there that's growing out finally. It's actually starting to get some length to the stalks there. Polyps are nice and out, and I got another little one back there. And the one behind it, you can't really see from here, the pink Floyd's doing pretty good too. That's finally waking out. These colonies are like three years old, so maybe 4. And it's taken them a long time to finally mature and start growing out from just a little frag that I had. Here's my purple tang. That's right, I got a purple tang in a 75-gallon. He's not huge though. He's about 6 years old, and he's only about 4 inches long, so I don't think he's going to get much bigger than that. So I must have lucked out. This green slimer here is doing awesome as usual. That coral is always done. That's one of the original acros that I had in this tank. I see I got some more bird's nests back there that I got to trim, some stylophora. This Leptocerus and this green pavona here have finally taken over this Jedi Mind Trick Montipora, and you can see they're touching now, and they'll probably have a stalemate right there. And I'll just keep growing over this Montipora. And also I got some trimming up here to do. You can see this Pasillipora here and this acro have grown into each other, so I got to trim them back because they'll just keep fighting each other. And really, I want this acro to grow out, so I'll probably trim some of this Pasillipora here. And that 24K Leptocerus down there is doing really good. And check out this Castaway Montipora. It's just growing everywhere, even over the Pavona, which is shocking to me. See that? It's just growing right over the top of it. You know, the corals might look a little bit different color because this is earlier in the day. It's actually today, Sunday. I'm recording this early in the morning. So all the lights haven't got the full spectrum yet. I'm going to trim up some of this Monty Cap here because it is shading these Acropora there. Even though the fish like to hang out in there, I'm going to trim some of that back. And there's Sarge, the Sergeant Major Damselfish. He's a cool fish. He likes to hang out with the tang. And there's the clownfish. And this acro colony is getting huge. I got to figure out what to do with it. But it's just hanging out there in the corner. And finally, some of my Montipora setosa there in the back is finally starting to grow out. There used to be a huge colony here, and it died off. So I'm trying to get some of it back a few years later. So we'll see what happens with that. But all in all, the tank's doing really good. Check out this Montipora digitata. It's breaching the water again. I keep accidentally breaking off pieces, and I'll put them back, and then it just keeps growing and growing. So it's doing really good. This tank's nice and mature, and it's been stable. I'll put up the parameters for the tank right here, and you can check it out. But I'm real happy with this tank. I've just been keeping up on my water changes and making sure everything's testing out good. And here's the SBS frag tank. This tank's doing really good. I just have a little bit of algae growing, but these coral are doing awesome in here. Look at them polyps. And the colors are really popping out too. There's my contest frags there. But that one behind it's pretty cool. If I can focus on it, look at that. So yeah, this is pretty much like a collection tank, but I sell some of these at frag swaps. There's a big old elegance, and Nemo Jr.'s hanging out in there. And there's my rabbit fish back there. And there it is. I have a big old chunk of that Jedi Mind Trick in here, and it is definitely liking this tank. All the colors are popping out like they're supposed to, so that's cool. Nice forest fire digi there. Yeah, the acros, this is my acro collection. They're doing really good. So, and I'm even getting little nubs. See if I can focus in on those. There's one right there. Getting little nubs growing on them, so that's cool. Another one right there. Yeah, they're just growing out the side. That was definitely cool putting them on these little stanchions. It gets a little more water flow around them. I'm just going to take care of this algae before it becomes a big problem, but my cleanup crew's been doing an okay job keeping it down. But I just want to make sure that it's not going to interfere with the coral. Look at those colors. So yeah, I'm real happy with this tank too. And that's the SBS frag tank. So here's the other frag tank. I'm converting my frag tanks over right now, at least this one. I have some LPS coral in here, as you can see. I actually just set up and started, it's cycled now, another frag tank just for LPS coral. So all these guys are going to go in the new tank once it's proven that it's ready. And I'll show you that in a minute. I got some test corals in there, but I had an issue with my zoas in this tank. A lot of them were just randomly melting, and I couldn't figure it out. I did a water change and read some carbon, and I didn't know what the problem was. So what I ended up doing is putting some chemiclean in here, because chemiclean is an antibacterial for certain bacteria, and it seems to have helped. And I've had that issue before. So I mean, I got a cat that comes in here. I'm not blaming her, but who knows, what kind of bacteria gets in, because this tank's wide open. So I don't know if I'm just having an issue with that or not, but a lot of these I got to color up too. You can see that one there. I'll get that into some light. But yeah, I'm just trying to focus on getting my zoas back. There's some cool zoas in here. But I did lose quite a few of them. But the rest of the coral in here are doing pretty good. There's some tongue coral there. And that's a Fiji yellow next to it, toadstool. So I'll be putting these into the new frag tank once I get that going. And I'll show you that next. This is going to be the new softy frag tank. All right, and here's the newest frag tank. This is going to be the LPS frag tank. In my last video on 3D printing, I showed you a few things on this tank, such as these little corners that I printed on here, because this is a rimless tank. I printed all of these frag racks too. Those took 9 hours each to make, so I was printing all last week. Finally done. I got some test corals in here. Oh, those are the nutrient levels I just tested today. Those are the test corals. What better than candy cane corals? Try out a new tank. It took 3 weeks to cycle, and alkalinity was at 8.5. So we'll try those out. I got to catch some fish and put some fish in here too. But things are going pretty good with this tank. The lights I already had. These are the current Orbit R24 lights. These are probably the only lights that Current USA made that work well for reef tanks, in my opinion. So I got 2 of them up there. I got 2 more on my tank upstairs, and they'll go over here. Once I take that tank down, I'll add 2 more, and then I'll make it look a little nicer. This is just kind of hung up here for just to see how it goes for now. And I got a few more things to add. Like, I don't have a protein skimmer in here yet or anything, but I'll be getting those coming next week. Maybe another wave maker. I put on a random flow generator down there. It's working pretty good, actually. You can see that. You can actually see some shimmer from those. You almost get like that, what they call that Kessel shimmer, even though it's not Kessel's, but I mean, I'm getting a pretty good shimmer from this too. So I like these lights. For a while, they weren't working on the Android app, and I switched to iPhone anyway, and they work good on that. So I got to see if they work on the Android app before I, kind of do a review on it and see if they're worth your time or not. But I'm happy with them. I got some decent par too. They're like at 75% right now, and I was getting 150 where these coral are. So that's pretty good. All the way up there, that's probably a good foot off the tank there, as you can see, and then even more so down there. So that's pretty good for little lights like that. Then I gotta put my board up. I'm gonna put a little equipment board up here if I could focus it on that, which I can't. It's kind of dark in here right now, but all my stuff right now, so you can see it's a mess right there. I gotta put up my board and get everything going. This is just kind of a concept just to see how everything would turn out. And chemistry is good, so I put in some test corals and I'm going to add some fish. But this tank's come along pretty good too, and I'll keep you updated on this one. All right, on to the Fowler tank, which is Puffy's tank. I ended up getting a new light for this tank. It's the light that I used to have, or a very similar one. It's a 6-foot light, and I'll show you that in a minute. But these guys are doing really good. I'm gonna redo this tank a little bit, like my covers for it. These are just little wood paneling, but I had magnets on there because it's a metal stand, and of course they're all rusted, and the glue came off. So I gotta get the rust off the metal stand, and I want to paint it up so it doesn't rust anymore, and fix these panels. Maybe make a better facade for the front with a little ledge or something. Just freshen up the tank a little bit. But these guys are doing really good, especially this guy here. He's a piggy, and there's my buddy Puffs. Puff just likes to cruise back and forth. There's Finn. Everybody say what's up to Finn, my Emperor Angel. And Leonidas, the big boy in the tank there. My volatile lionfish. So everybody in here is doing really good. I'll pop the lid up here real quick and I'll show you the light that I put in. Okay, here's that light I was talking about. This is just one of those current loop lights. They don't work so well for coral. I don't think they have the proper spectrum, and they definitely don't have enough power. But they work good for fish. Right now, like I said, it's in the morning, so it's more of a bluer color in here. It's actually pretty dim. But as the day goes on, it doesn't have a lot of blue to it. It's actually a pretty white spectrum, which is okay for fish. And some people like to keep their coral that way. But these lights I don't recommend for coral, but they do awesome for a Fowler tank. And this gives it coverage all the way across. It's a 6-foot light. See that? So yeah, this tank's doing good. These guys are doing good. I'm going to freshen it up a little bit as I get time. That'll do it for this video. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching, and happy reefing.